I know. What was with that white cat on the table last week? What was that?
That wasn't mean.
Is there a cat on there tonight?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Who put that cat on the table last week? Because that was
It's
pretty.
got a name, some
that was
internet
pretty good.
thing.
Yours truly.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one.
No computer
Spud
tonight?
Is on 150. He's sitting
I
right
can
in front
hear.
of,
Can I hear?
What's in between 150.
Testing 1, 2.
Oh.
Campbell gave me the decal.
I was about ready.
Right.
Okay, looks like we're ready to rock and roll, guys.
Rock and roll.
Roll.
All right, somebody give us a countdown because I know this is going to be a good one. 151, and we got a lot to talk about tonight, and it's all neat stuff.
All meat.
3, 2, 1.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you. Further support is provided by Microengineering, keeping you on track with quality products for 55 years. Check out their website at www.microengineering.com. Order from your local dealer or order direct by calling 1-800-462-6975. And by InterMountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com.
Additional support for What's Neat This Week is brought to you by Soundtracks. Two-time winners of Model Railroader Magazine's Reader's Choice Award for Favorite Sound Decoder and also Miscellaneous Sound with our Sound Card Decoder. Now be sure to check out what all the fuss is about at soundtracks.com and also check out our YouTube videos at Soundtracks Videos on YouTube. Now, as a special thank you to What's Neat video watchers, we're going to offer free shipping, so be sure to use the checkout code WNTWFREE for free shipping on your purchase at soundtracks.com.
Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week show in model railroading, show number 151, guys. I know, how about that, huh? Tonight, coming off of our week off, I was able to get What's Neat done for Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine. And rock and roll, that's May. So May is in the box.
Rock and roll.
All right.
I wasn't going to start out talking about that, but I did work on the layout down here this week. Spent 4 days working on scenery. It's a very flat area. It's going to be a very interesting segment where we bury the trains in the dirt. And I'm probably maybe not showing you B-roll exactly.
Let's be specific. The train tracks, not the actual trains.
Right, yeah.
We're not digging
Right.
the trains.
Yeah.
They're in the dirt.
This isn't a scene from The Fugitive.
And by now you've figured out I've got some wonderful people sitting around me and some great guests in the audience watching us shoot tonight. And I've got James Regier on the end over here. James.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, James. Also sitting next to me, I'm going to do this right. I've got Sugarfire Joshua Barton.
What's up, everybody?
I love doing that. I like eating there even better.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting on the other side of me, I've got Michael Budde, who always has some very cool stuff to talk about. Hey, Mike.
Thank you.
We love you, Mike.
Thanks.
I know, right? So as soon as Joshua got here, and believe me, the weather's been great this week, but there was this smog hanging over the river, and you asked me about that, and I've never seen, in all the years of living out here, going back to 1974, I've never seen smog out there like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it turns
It
out.
was hovering over the...
Yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And Mitchell Befoden told us that that's a controlled burn that's down south in Illinois, and it's creeping up here.
Wow.
But it's crazy how it stayed on the opposite side of the river and didn't come over here to Missouri.
It's pretty amazing.
Interesting how those air currents work, isn't it? Yeah.
It must have been what Oregon was like completely this spring when things were going on.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you've got a boxcar you want to show us that just came out, Joshua.
I do. This is our new boxcar from Value Trains USA, and it's our Star Spangled boxcar.
Yeah, that's
Very
looking good.
cool. Yeah, it's out. You can go to valuetrainsusa.com and order yours.
And that'll look good behind your bicentennial units if you have any of those.
Absolutely, they sure would.
Dude, how do you follow that up? I know where I'm going next, but this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Hey, look at it. It comes with weights inside.
It sure does.
Yeah,
They're
it's
all really
correctly weighted
well.
metal trucks. The
There's
Katy
Katy couplers on
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Wow, these are very quality freight cars that the gentleman's making for the podcast.
Yeah.
And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think we have 5 different colors. You have to check out the website.
Yep.
So, okay, that's cool. Thank you very much, Derek Sampson. And
They'll
we
also make cars for your event if you have any if you have your club or anything else. They do custom paint too. So
Yep.
yeah.
No, that's a good point. So, like I said, a lot of things happen in the week that we get off. I went to Austin Allard's house on Wednesday. Wednesday night is train night at Austin's house. And I got to see the scenery that he and Campbell Rice and Mitchell Befoden had all been working on together. And it looks very interesting. I'm going to show you a clip. I already am showing you. They stack up their foam, and then they covered it with a gauze. They're creating the bluffs that you would see along the Union Pacific or Missouri Pacific main line. And if you look, there's peanuts, not poison peanuts, but packing peanuts, under the scenery, and they simply covered it with gauze. I thought that was a neat idea. I love your track work. I got to run trains on his layout, and the amazing thing is he models for running long trains. And so that when you listen to an entire train running past you on his layout, it sounds just like when you're standing in my backyard listening to trains running up the Chester subdivision over there on the Union Pacific East Side, where you actually hear the entire train. So hats off to Austin. Good job. Your layout is absolutely amazing. Thank you for inviting me out.
I love how his curves are kind of slanted like the real
Right. He's
trains
got the
are.
super elevation.
Yeah.
Right.
He was explaining to me that's a lot of work to do, and I know it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But what a difference it makes in a just the visuals of the train leaning on the super elevation. Now, let's talk about super elevation for a minute, because the best way I've found to do that is to shim out the outside of your rail
Right.
underneath the ties before you ballast.
Right.
And I like to use styrene, evergreen styrene,
Yep.
because you can get it in strips, say, an eighth of an inch or a 16th of an inch. And then you can get it 40 thousandths, 50 thousandths, 60 thousandths, different thicknesses. And I generally like to do my super elevation on my HO scale dioramas at about 50 to 40 thousandths. That gives you just about a half of rail height of outside curve, which lets you have that lean into the curve.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, Austin, how did you super elevate your curves? What did you stick underneath your track?
Styrene.
So he did the same thing. He was using styrene. Do you know how thick it was?
When you actually go into the curve, it's 10 thousandths. And then when you actually get
Oh.
to the middle, it's about
So
30
you-
or 40.
He transitioned it, which is really important, because you don't
Yeah,
want to go
right.
straight from flat to 40 thousandths of an
Right,
inch.
yeah.
You've got to transition, and that's something that that's what the podcast is for. Tips like this come up, and it's like bang in your head, you can see it. And so the next time you go down to your train room and you see a train go through your curve, your jaw's going to drop, because it gives you that effect of speed. When we shot the
Right.
Bachmann 2020 catalog cover with that Charger, is it the Charger locomotive?
Yeah, that Charger locomotive going
Right.
through the mountains. Yeah.
Lucky me, I got to have a Charger locomotive a year before the rest of you guys did. But, perk of the job. But, did you see how it was leaning in that photograph?
Yeah.
The lean adds speed to the shot as a
Right.
catalog cover, so it draws more excitement.
Right.
I don't know what
Yeah.
it is about
More
it.
realism.
James,
Yeah.
James, you came down this week, and we were going to shoot the moon rising, because
Yeah.
you're trying to reproduce this shot, and we've showed video clips before of all of your Santa Fe locomotives.
Right, that John Winfield shot that the Santa Fe had commissioned for when they made their super fleet, and I was wanting to do the moonlit shot, and there were a couple problems that arose. One, it was way too windy. I noticed just as I was trying to set up that module was wanting to take off. The other problem was that the yard modules are not powered. That a lot of them are for shooting rail cars that various companies have produced, and for that you don't need electricity. I was wanting to show off my lighting features in the moonlight, and so I needed the power.
So yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't have any. So what did we do? We took that microengineering.
Right, that micro-engineering yard ladder system, and we wired it up and put the
did.
locomotives on there to test it out, and it worked very nicely. I think it'll, with a little bit of ballast and a little bit of dressing up, it'll make a great new module, I think.
Yeah, we still got to ballast
Nice.
that. So we're going
Yeah.
to ballast the number 5 ladder system for microengineering.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. And the fact is, the one thing we know now that we wired it all up, that ladder system works.
It works, yeah.
Powered up and everything.
It
We
works.
were able to run your engines back and forth through it. I didn't shoot
Right.
B-roll of that. But yeah,
Right.
it was a lot of B-roll. We still got to ballast it. I think I'm going to add it. It's only an inch thick.
Well, yeah, and the other
It was
the-
a display.
and the other neat usage that you'll have for it now, it's not just cars, but all these manufacturers are producing locomotives with more and more lighting features all the time. So you'll
That's
want
true.
you'll want that electricity to put a line of locomotives out there to show what InterMountain is producing next.
Right, amen. So yeah, we're going to have a powered up display. We could actually do some videotape on that.
Yeah.
Let's think. James, what have I got on my list here? I've got so many things on the list here. I'm not even sure how to keep all this straight.
Yeah.
We know that we've got a throttle holder, and I don't know if we have it here, do we?
Right.
Right,
over
we
here?
have it right over here for the UWT
That's right.
150.
Okay, this is a
Yeah.
new throttle holder that Woody
100.
sent us today in the mail. Check this out. Woody's the gentleman that we met at Train Fest. And he
Yep.
introduced himself, and he had throttle holders for the NCE system and for Digitrax. And in fact, he built our NCE display for our table here.
Right.
And then I'm going to make you show this B-roll of the logo in
Yeah,
front that
right.
he's
He
mailed
built us the logo
Right.
That's
Yeah.
just in
right.
front of the table, which is a
right.
big piece of metal that we mounted on a white piece of wood. I mean, it was like when we got it in the mail, it was a saw blade.
Yeah, it was
said-
awesome.
So this is all, I guess, laser cut or
That's
underwater.
It's beautiful. I think
So-
it was about Christmas last year, and you sent me the photos of it, and I was just amazed. Yeah.
So I follow him very closely on Facebook.
Okay.
And here I got these pictures that I'm going to make a show. This is his new CNC machine that he got. And
Oh,
it's
this is what
bigger
he
than-
uses to cut.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So he cuts all the metal, and if you can see in this shot, it's the actual pictures of these right here, these holders that is still in the mold.
Nice.
It is so cool. But I get to see him post this stuff, and it's really, really neat. He just sent me some of these for the NCE throttle, and then he sent us this today. And he's also going to be here next
Next
weekend.
week, yes.
That's right.
So-
What is this? Okay, so this is the throttle holder for the train control systems. Daniel, get on this. UWT 100 throttle holder. So he called me on the phone Monday.
Right.
And he told me to take my calipers out and measure the UWT 100 throttle. Well, that was easy because I was using it. I was running this train.
Right.
So I also sent them pictures on my cell phone of this. And so what I get 5 days later in the mail is this cut holder. Oh, look.
Fits like a
boom.
glove. Fits like a glove.
Woody, you did a good job, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
How many projects have we heard that have gone awry when you do conversions over the phone?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
he nailed it. So if you
Yeah.
want to get some of these products from Woody, I know he has the NCE holder. He also has a Digitrax holder. And hopefully soon he'll have the TCS Wow sound holder. So if you would like to go on eBay and type NCE holder, it will take you to his product.
Yes.
That's the best way to get a hold of him. NCE holder on eBay. Just type that in the search bar.
Yep.
Or our show index, for that matter. He
And
can,
then
yeah.
you can go to the actual eBay sellers page after you get to that
Correct.
NCE page, and you'll be able to find all the various holders that he's making. But rock and roll. TCS, check it out, Dan Michio. That's pretty cool that he made a holder for your system.
That's
You
right.
guys need to get a link on your website to help Woody
Yeah.
sell these things. I know. How do you follow that up? That's awesome. And
Yeah.
so I got some auto racks on the table. I guess I really wanted to, I generally open the show talking about how beautiful and sunny the weather is here in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
As I take you outside and I show you the photo setup for that wonderful day where I shot 8 different auto racks for InterMountain. And these racks are absolutely amazing in that this is the run. Everything's perfect on them. You can see through the screens. The screens fit perfectly. The doors on these units all fit really nice.
I want to
They've
talk.
got Katie coupler number 58 couplers on them.
Right, scale heads.
Yeah.
Scale.
That's what I use on everything.
Go ahead,
Yep.
Joshua.
I want to talk about that pink elephant in the room. By
This
the
is
way.
a pink auto rack, and we're going to talk about
Yeah.
this. This is one of the Otter Valley Railroad Special Edition auto racks. And we're going to go through all of these numerically as I show you photographs. So, Daniel, you don't have to get tight on this. First, I'm starting out with the Conrail auto rack that's on the table here. I really like that one, actually. That's number 603201. That's the no quality logo. And it's just beautiful outdoor photos of these. You can see the Western Pacific auto rack. Number 9113, 153. And this, again, beautiful paint job on the Western Pacific with the brown and the yellow. I love the way
Yeah.
that looks. Grand Trunk and Western, number 504011 GT.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful photos. I shot these from on top and on the side so you can see them. TFM, that's the Mexican auto rack.
TFM is.
Yep.
Number 987753 in yellow, and it's got that TMF logo. It looks like a flag.
Yeah.
I've got, I'm going to say this carefully here, Norfolk Southern.
Good job. Good job.
So I got this NNS Thoroughbred logo auto rack that I showed
You just ruined it by saying NAS.
Oh.
We'll cut all that out in post. It's all
And
right.
this is in yellow, guys, with the horse head on it. Beautiful
Oh, yeah,
side
thoroughbred,
shot
yeah.
and top shot. Nice auto rack. Now, here's some special edition auto racks. And these are going to go quick. I already know that. I've heard rumors.
I just tried to order one. I couldn't.
So Mike's already tried ordering one of these. Starting out with Spring Creek. We went to the Spring Creek show. We actually did a podcast from out there. We love it out there.
Deshler, yeah.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dave Zucker
Dave Zucker, yep.
and his wife Deb.
And his wife, Deb. Absolutely fantastic people. Put on a train show. And by the way, it's already been 2 years. So this year they're having another train show
Yep.
this summer is what I heard.
Nice.
Check the dates on that. You have to go to Spring Creek's website. And while you're there, you can find this beautiful one production of Rock Island auto racks. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a limited run production. This is a Rock Island in blue, and it's got the white roof on it. Bi-level auto rack, scale couplers, just a beautiful model, special
is.
limited edition.
I'm just noticing, and I don't know if it's something about the InterMountain paint, but that cross bracing is just especially visible in that car.
Absolutely.
Just
in all
absolutely
the,
beautiful.
In all these
Yeah.
cars.
Right. Somehow the rock caught my eye first, but yeah.
Another two special edition cars. These are from the Otter Valley Railroad. That is a very large hobby store, train store in Canada.
Canada, yeah.
From what I understand. And very amazing, the models that they did. I'm going to start out with the Canadian National.
Got the noodle? Yeah.
And that's 76113. I'm probably showing you outside photographs of that. We've got that on the table here. And if you noticed, it's got the newer type screens on it. The Rock Island one
Yeah,
had the
it
old
does.
this
screens
is true.
on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That's the variation of screens that InterMountain is doing for these wonderful runs. And the next auto rack I'm going to talk about has actually got the older screens in it. And you guys are going to love this. This is CP Rail. And this is another Otter Valley Railroad special edition run. Thank you for doing this one, guys.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
What's different about it is they followed the trend that we've seen with so many of our Athearn products where the Athearn trademark was ready to rust. This is already pre-faded, so
Yeah.
it looks pink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that
It-
looks like
it-
it's been on the road for a little while. Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
very
those cars
cool.
were bright red when they
Yeah.
were brand new.
I'll show you how it looks in outdoor sunlight too. It looks good.
Yeah.
TTGX number 255 897 shot outdoors, and you know it's got a white roof on it too. Absolutely beautiful.
They are
So
very
hats off
beautiful.
to Otter Valley Railroad and Spring Creek for coming out with these special edition InterMountain Railway auto racks. You'll be able to find photographs of these at whatsneat.com after the show has been out for a few weeks, whereas anything that we've ever talked about on this show, product-wise or individual-wise, you can find referenced at whatsneat.com on the What's Neat Index, which indexes everything that we've got. And one special segment I want to show off tonight and talk about is microengineering. Microengineering is listed on there because they've got such a variety of products.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't just make the best track that we actually like. They also make buildings and the vehicles and the bridges. How many different kinds of bridges? In HO scale,
Yeah, very many.
N scale, girder bridges,
Yeah.
high truss bridges. What an amazing amount of work all those folks do down there in Fenton. They work every day. They work hard. But the whatsneat.com index, again, anything we've ever talked about, including everything about microengineering, all of the auto racks, all of the vehicles, and I mean all the freight cars from InterMountain. anything from Athearn. It's amazing how much work was done on
Yes,
Yeah.
very much.
that. I just want
Absolutely.
to toot that horn because it's just beautiful. But those are the auto racks that we had to show off. It makes the table look really good. Mike, Budde, tell us, what did you bring tonight? Because everybody loves it when you talk about your stuff.
Well, these pool tables, first of all, they're from RS Laser Kits. They're laser cut. And I wanted some HL scale pool tables for my fire station. And so Rich, the guy that runs this place, it's here in Missouri somewhere too, he sent these to me in the mail. So I put those together within the last few days trying to get ready for the show tonight. They come with kind of fancy legs, but then I cut some of the extra wood to make some just regular type legs on those. And I think they're pretty cool.
They
At
look
least
really
two of
nice,
them
yeah.
going inside my firehouse.
Very cool.
And that vehicle, that's another 3D printed car that I finished this week. And,
That looks good.
Dude, the paintwork on that is beautiful.
Actually, that was the second best print available. I mistakenly ordered the less than
Really?
perfect print, but
So that's 3D printed?
yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And but with different coats.
Can we touch it? I want to look at
Yeah.
this up close.
Just
I'm
don't
gonna
mess up the windows.
I'll get you guys some close-up
The windows are scotch tape.
videos. Look at the headlights.
Wow, look at
Yeah.
that.
It's a well-detailed car.
Yeah. It's,
Now, is this your Scotch tape windows on this? Okay, so you actually painted the window grommet silver,
right.
and
First.
then
Right.
on
And
the
then
tape.
put the tape on top of
Yeah. Use that Molotov pen for that?
Right.
yeah?
So
And that's how you did the front too, getting that all
Yeah,
chromed out. That,
looks like
those
chrome.
pens are so
Dude.
cool. I'm not
Yeah.
even touching.
I love it when Mike.
I know.
Yeah. You know, I love using that chrome pen for my headlights. That it
Yeah.
provides a nice reflective service.
right. So anyway, that's that I think the 3D printed vehicles are getting better and better. The printing, it's just by leaps and bounds. It's
Oh,
improving.
absolutely.
And so this car had a lot of striations in it, but nothing that 15 or 20 minutes couldn't take care of. And
Yeah.
it turned
Yeah.
out, turned out pretty nice. So
I know,
Anyway.
right?
Very
Hey, I want to say to our audience, Jerry Springer is recording in the next studio over. You guys must be in the wrong room. This is the very calm Model Railroad show.
Not tonight.
No, it's all right. We love it when you guys are happy. Just don't mess with the cameraman
Anymore.
anymore. Oh my God, this is what Saturday night's all about. I mean, do you remember before how much fun we'd have?
Oh,
yeah.
We'd go out there and build a bonfire. We'd be running the garden railroad. Now we've got so many wonderful people out there enjoying this with us, and those pool tables knocked our socks off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see
Nice.
the firehouse that's going to go with the pool table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fire engines.
yes,
The
yeah,
Mike Budde fire engines.
yeah.
You're probably gonna put scratch built hoses in there.
No,
You are gonna
no.
make the most tricked out fire truck, and James Regier is gonna light the lights on it.
The Athearn fire truck is pretty good. It's already come lettered for
Oh my
St.
God.
Louis
Yeah.
Fire.
How many of those do we have up here?
Jeez.
But-
I know there's like 5 Athearn. I can't reach any of them right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Athearn made a lot of neat vehicles, and that's the one thing Austin Allard talked about when he was at his house is now that he's got the track laid, now that he's got the trains built, and there's like 8 complete freight trains just sitting in the yard, now he's getting into the scenery, which means vehicles. How many people? Who would have thought? So
Yeah.
now he's accumulating quite a growth of vehicles for his era, and not to mention, it's. I think it comes out, and I added this up one time, and we're going to talk about this. When you generally build a layout like we're doing to a completion of finished that we expect, no layout's ever finished, right?
Right.
But let's just say a
Right.
basic scenery. You got grass, you got ballasted track, things are weathered. You're always going to add things. You're always going to add buildings, things
Right.
like that. But about $150 per linear foot, and my layout's 24 inches wide. I want to say that sounds cheap if you figured the Midwest Valley Modelers layout, because I think we spent about $11,000 building that layout when we first built it back in 1988 money to do 50 train shows with, and that was an amazing thing. But yeah, vehicles, you haven't even started on people yet. Wait till you start buying
Oh, I
people.
started buying
Have you,
people.
have you
yeah.
populated? Yeah,
I started buying Fraser ones that are $4 or $5 a piece.
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
And now I think they're 3D scanning people in Europe to make the
Yes.
Fraser
Yep.
models, because
Yeah.
I've noticed the fidelity of the
Wow.
faces
Yeah.
has improved.
It's pretty amazing. Like I've been looking that up for my 3D printer as well. That thought maybe I can populate it with people, and just like the detail of it, even printed scaled down to 1/87th, unpainted is just amazing.
So with the resin printer, you can print very good faces.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about how we color our people. So many people just go out and buy that paint called flesh. And I don't mean the red color that Austin is right now, more of a skin tone flesh. What I like to do when I generally weather or paint my people to get the right skin tones, I use my wife's makeup to color the people on my face, on their faces. Because sometimes the various colors that you're trying to achieve.
right.
And I could even see people going as far as pinkening cheeks and actually tricking out.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
do that.
Not to mention the clothing. But if you ever look at the clothing of people, we paint such stark colors all the time. Red, you know. But if you look at a photograph from a distance of a group of people, everything's kind of washed out from the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And if you actually look at pictures in the Morning Sun books from the 50s, the coloring of clothing changed from era to era. So
there's
whatever
always-
era you're modeling, your figures have got to be
Right.
close to, you know what I'm saying.
And nobody ever does stripes and plaids and stuff on figures.
Oh, man, I tried to do.
I try to on mine too. That's something that adds a lot of detail instead of just red, yellow, blue.
Yeah, I
you
just
know.
buy
I tried to do
pre-done.
plaid seats once on a passenger car, and
Yeah.
you know, I tried just like getting those tiny lines is just so hard.
Yeah.
See, I got through that without having to edit anything because it's very important. The color
It
of
is.
people is important to what you're modeling.
Yeah.
Also, talking about people, I want to talk about Ray Brown. Ray Brown has been on a lot of shows. Hey guys, calm down back there. Ray Brown has been on a lot of shows in the past, and we really appreciate his work. But when
Absolutely.
he was here this week, he got the passenger train running, the Bessemer Bullet. And that's circuit 1952 that he had built. And this is a division point brass model that he's absolutely tricked out, the 462 Pacific. And he used the TCS Wow Sound steam decoder on it. He put in an iPhone speaker, he custom decaled it, and it's absolutely amazing. This is the same train that we saw Ashley painting all of the figures in about 8 shows ago. And all these figures that you see in this passenger car are all painted. Again, color of clothing for the era. Looks like they did fine on that. It's really neat that they did this, so hats off to them. He also did some diesels, an RSD set of 15s. The same ones that Dan Michio did for me. He did my alligators that we've got on the shelf back here.
Sure, yeah.
Well, after he saw Dan doing the alligators, he had to do his RSD 15 high hoods. And these are Broadway Limited Bessemer and Lake Erie units. He put the TCS Wow Sound in those. High bass speakers is what he also said he used in those. And it's pretty much, like I said, the same installation.
They're
that he
great
did
looking
on the
really good
Nationals.
results,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very
it's
cool.
really neat when everybody shares this really cool work with us, and we can show it to the viewers because he did a good job weathering these diesels.
Absolutely.
So hats off to you, Ray. We can't wait until summer when we get to see you again. And as I look at my list, I just went through everything that's just about on it. I know James Regier brought a locomotive he wanted to talk about tonight.
Yeah, and this is a U30B for Frisco. It's the XR unit. Now, one of the units at the Magic House was getting worn down, and so I saw this Atlas one at a pretty good price, and so I had him order this. And then I thought, you know, it needed a little something extra. Because whenever I'm working at the Magic House and I have my locomotives running, you know, with their operating beacons, step lights, and all that stuff, I've heard a lot of kids and a lot of parents say, you know, those locomotives are lit up really neat. They look awesome. And so I thought, you know, I take mine home with me, so why not have one that stays there? And so I upgraded this with a Rapido rotary beacon that actually has 4 warm white LEDs inside that orange dome that rotate. And I corrected the Atlas gyro light. It came in the box with a double headlight there, which is incorrect for Frisco.
Right.
I designed and 3D printed a gyro light for it that fits right into that same socket. And so it lights up now like it should, and it's
Does
looking.
it oscillate?
It oscillates.
Nice.
It's looking pretty good.
Nice.
It has a TCS 21-pin non-sound decoder. So that's a product I just completed this week, and it should be rolling at the Magic House by next Wednesday.
Nice.
Sweet.
How about that?
The other products I have here are another couple 3D printed items. George Bogatuk contacted me and wanted me to design builder plates for a set of 3 Civil War era 440 locomotives that he was building to replicate the great locomotive chase. And so 2 of these are for Roger's locomotive work, and the third one is the Danforth locomotive works. And I'll give you the 3D graphics for these, just because the detail won't be quite as visible if you just look at the models here, because they're not painted or anything yet. But yeah,
Man, every time you come on the show, you always show us how diverse our hobby is.
Yep.
I'm over there working on scenery, right? And I loved it. And you are sitting there 3D printing and drawing stuff in CAD to the detail. And I saw one of these parts. I actually looked at it Monday when you were here, and the crispness of what you can get now with the resin printers is amazing.
Yep.
yeah, and it's really fun, just seeing that product you've drawn up, just come out on the printer and get produced.
That's awesome. Speaking of George Bogatuk, did I mention when I opened the show that George did a segment for the Maze video for Maze What's Neat? George Bogatuk supplied me with video, and it's about 14 minutes long, and he's using low melt metals to weigh his locomotives and to weigh his freight cars. And so he shows us the entire process. But low melt metals, these metals melt at about 114 degrees, and one of them melts at 155 degrees, and that's it. It's not cheap. It's like $100 for a bar of this.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting that he came up with and
Does
wanted
he
to
have
show.
to make a mold to pour
You
it
actually
into,
pour
or-
it like on a coal car. He poured it into the
okay.
valleys.
Nice.
And it
yeah.
doesn't melt the plastic. And a
Oh,
locomotive, he put it in a fuel tank, and it didn't melt the Athearn fuel
Wow.
tank. Because the Athearn fuel tanks are hollow on each
Right.
side.
Right.
That's
So
a great place.
It added a whole ounce.
That beats the birdshot method. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It flows, and it fits, and it's low melting. It's like metal chocolate. I don't know. So he also said that Soundtracks is still honoring all the viewers of our show the free shipping. So you type in WNTW free at checkout at soundtracks.com, and you get the free shipping on all of your purchases. So rock and roll. Thank you, Nancy and George, for doing that. Guys, I see everybody's getting restless. We're going to take our NCE throttles off of the holders now because we are going to run some trains on the layout. The guys want to run through my new track work that's going through the dirt. I can't wait to show them that. That's the fun of the hobby, man. You get to build stuff all week
right.
and show it
That's
off
right.
to your friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Going around the table, we've covered it all, did we?
Well, I think so.
Yep.
We're right at 30 minutes, just on time. I love it when things go smooth. Guys, this is the best hobby in the world with some of the best people in it. A simple show put on by us and all of our friends just to make you feel good every single week about the best hobby in the world that we all enjoy. So with that, guys, let's go run some trains.
All right.
Jerry, 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 Jerry.